Peace and love, y'all. It's your brother A.D.V.I.S.S here with another installment of Show Us More, sponsored by More Interviews, aka Memoirs of Our Real Experiences. And for today's Show Us More, we have an alumni who's been here before. Honestly, one of basically the pioneers of this whole more interview setup and being the first to be there. Want to shout out the brother, man. Shouts out to my brother Blksknn, aka on Instagram it's Blksknn type beat. If y'all want to make some Blksknn type beats, but we gonna be going ahead getting into this project today, talking about other things that come up and any other topics that show. So if y'all are here, please let me know what's going on, how y'all. While we're here, and go check out the brother Blksknn. There's so much dope stuff about this brother, but I'm gonna let him do what he do. But let's get it going.
What up? What up? What up?
Yo, what's good?
Not much, man. Just chilling, man. How you doing?
Rushing back home from work to make sure I was getting here.
I feel it, man. I was on the road speed racing, bro. So I feel you.
On your 007 James Bond?
Hell yeah.
Well, man, it's been a minute, man. It's good to see you.
Yeah, man. You too, bro.
Shoot. What's going on? I see you in here, nephew. Do your thing. I appreciate you being here. Everybody that's in here, if y'all have any questions, please throw them down in the comments while we're going through this. But Brother Blksknn's been here before. Again, I told you, it's one of the pioneers. So I'm grateful when I'm able to tap back in and get some time to come in and speak with the folks and see how they've been.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I know we missed out on the last project, which I got my plaque and everything back over here still chilling in my room.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I appreciate you picking up one of those, man. That's a good project right there. I wish I would have had more time with the promo on that project and everything to come by and talk to you, but
Yeah.
we could talk a little bit about it today too.
Again, this is your floor, your space for this. And again, this is for alumni. So in this particular case, the difference of how this is for especially folks who don't know who you are, we'll do all the intro stuff, but we're really going to talk a lot more about the project, really going in depth. I've been doing track by track with other folks, so I think it's only fair that we do the same thing here and then leave it for anything else that you want to, talk about
Oh
and
yeah.
chop it up on. But before we do that, do you have any questions, any things you want to share with the folks before we get started?
Shit, man. I just appreciate everybody in here, watching and listening. Yeah, man. Thank you for having me, bro.
You already know, Ben. It's a pleasure. Shoot, I don't think we ever got to meet in person though.
Nah, never, never. And I know a few people. I know a few people that know you personally too. That's the crazy thing. And so I'm surprised we never met in person.
It's all good. It's one of these days. One of these
Yeah,
days.
it's gonna happen. It's bound to happen.
All right, my G. To get started, first thing is for the folks that are new up in here and they're not sure of what you do and how you get down. Give them a little intro and background to who you are.
I I'm black skinned, from Seattle, born and raised. Been doing this for maybe I think it's coming up on like 7 years now. Super enjoy rapping and shit. That's pretty much what I do with my spare time, with my work time, all my time I be rapping pretty much. You know, yeah, I just really enjoy this shit. I enjoy putting together concepts in a musical form, almost making like theatrical rap music. You know, yeah. That's
Yeah.
pretty much about it. I'm not that interesting. I just be rapping.
You definitely be doing a lot more, but we do appreciate what you do put out. And if y'all don't know, I'm just letting you know now. It's this brother got some really dope stuff, as well as, to me, you just remind me of like a mob boss. The way that you kind of just flow on top of stuff, like you just the don of so many things, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. I
But
like
and once you said like theatrical too, I'm like, I could hear that too as well.
yeah.
Especially, I mean, the last project that we did get to talk about, there's now pieces that are coming together, is making sense for me. But
Yeah,
besides all
yeah.
of that, we appreciate you, too. Thank you for being up in here. You know, it's all love all the time. Before we do get into talk about the project and honestly going down through the track list, of course, I got some questions to, hit you up with for sure. And shouts out to everybody that's following. I appreciate the love. I'm just in here just wanting to, again, give my brother just some spotlight. I mean, well deserved at that. And y'all coming through and sharing, showing your love. All I will ask is just please just follow him and really show him the love for this new project and even more to come. So, but thank y'all so much. As well as questions. If y'all got questions, put them down in their comments as well too. But first one I got for you is honestly with you saying that most of your work time, whether you're doing music and on your free time, you're doing music and just all around, just having that just artistic, creative time that you want to, again, create this realm of reality with your music. What was one of the toughest decisions that you had to make as an artist?
Ooh. Toughest decisions I've had to make as an artist,
Yeah.
probably just like the decision to be responsible. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? Like that's just the idea of being responsible is left out. The equation for being an artist.
Yeah.
Um, we gotta fund this shit ourselves. We have to get on top of shit. Go get our shows booked. We gotta fucking send our music out to everybody. We gotta do all
Yeah.
this shit, and you cannot do it properly if you're not responsible. So I mean, being young, you want to be irresponsible and run around and do whatever you want. And I had my time to do that, but I would
Yes.
say like actually buckling down and like deciding to be responsible is one of probably the bigger things that I had
Yes.
to give up is irresponsibility.
Understood. Man, and that's a very not only mature answer, but I mean it's a reality. Like you can't just be playing around this whole time thinking you're gonna go somewhere. Which shots out to kind of some already what was alluding to this project. There's other words and stuff that's linked to it, but
Exactly.
it's really how I look at it too. It's you saying that you want to achieve a lot of things, but you still playing on the playground, knowing that you got to go up the street and keep moving forward, but you're still playing on the playground.
Exactly. Yeah, you can't. You're not gonna win that way. You gotta leave the park, go down the street, hoop with the hood niggas, then you gotta go hoop with the white boys, then you gotta go hoop with the big ass Samoan niggas that'll punch you in the face every time you try to come to the hole. Like you gotta go hoop with all of them to be the best.
Yeah,
So that's where I'm at right now. Just getting responsible enough to be able to do what I gotta do.
got you. I'm with it. And speaking of when making that decision in particular to be responsible and leave irresponsibility out, which of course there's still room for you to, of course, grow and you're still learning as that happens. Where did you find the strength to make that decision to move forward? Because I know people go back and forth with that feeling conflicted, but where did you find the strength? It could have been who, it could have been a song, could have been whatever it was. Where did you find that strength to make that decision and move forward?
It came from a super dark place to be real with you. Like
Mm.
at the top of the year, um, I had at the top of the year I had like it's somewhat of a suicide attempt, and
Mm.
ever since that day, I just kind of like decided to do what I want to do every day, like because we're the only thing guaranteed here is that we're gonna die. It's
Yeah,
gonna happen one day. So like until then, I'm gonna do what I want to do every day. You know.
yeah.
Yeah. And so
Appreciate you for that open answer. Yeah, it's again, I'm glad out of the deeps of the depths that you found a way again to rise up and you speak about it. And it's not only very telling and some of the production that's on here, but also I love shouts out to dope female trainer. She just be
I
coming in
like
here
that.
doing acronyms. She does acronyms all day. So I say I'm the person that loves acronyms and I'm an acronym person. She puts me to shame. So shouts out to dope
Yeah.
female trainer.
For real. Shouts out to you, dope female trainer. That's a cool acronym right there.
Oh
Give a
man.
shit.
But
Gas.
yes, but really appreciate you for that openness because I know, especially in these days and times, how mental health is important and really getting right with yourself, especially I mean, I'll be honest with you. When I lived out there in Seattle for a year, the sun didn't come by too often. So I know some people would experience what they would call SAD, that seasonal affect disorder sometimes, where they weren't getting either enough sun and they were feeling a lot more down and in the dumps and stuff like that.
Yeah, no,
So I
exactly. I lived here my whole life too, so like, I, this is all I'm used to. This shit. This is all I've been exposed to, and so like, I feel like over time it does take a toll. But
yeah,
like, I'm glad I know how to deal with it now.
and that's the beautiful thing about it too. Yes. Still going in. Still going in.
Evidence for days.
I feel it. All right. So that was just a quick punch with the question. So give those folks a small intro to the project that we're talking at hand, i.e., the late bloomer.
Man, this project's called Late Bloomer. It's a project about about basically, exactly what the title is, blooming at your own pace, blooming when you're supposed to, not when everybody expects you to. It may feel late to you, but late isn't a real concept because we all know time isn't real. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically what this project is about. Exploring being a late bloomer in a lot of different facets, pretty much. Yeah.
There it is. And we're going to be getting into all six of the tracks. I have some of my own like feedback as well as when I was listening to a few of the tracks. There's two of them that I didn't necessarily get all of the time to because again I want to show the respect because in the intro of the songs we're gonna get to it, but there's talking about is it rhetorician?
Rhetorician, the rhetorician.
Rhetorician, sorry, rhetorician had a piece in there talking about is people really listening or really writing bars. So we're gonna be trying to talk about some of the bars that we at least picked up in here. But before we do that, I want you to quickly also talk about the track cover art. I wish Instagram wouldn't be funky and I would be able to be pulling stuff up and be able to show people like the
Yeah,
track art. But what I will do is I'm going to bootleg it and I'm going to show it up on the screen. I'll flip my way and then basically ask the question. But for those folks who do not know, again, late bloomer, and then this is what we're looking at art wise.
yeah, that's the art right there.
Yeah. So tell me, who made this and why this particular image for the cover?
Yeah, so that one was done by Ebony Loose Art. She's actually my girlfriend, as well
Mm,
as the amazing visual artist.
yes.
She came up with that idea herself. Um,
Okay.
we were talking about the project and the concept of late bloomer and how it feels like being a late bloomer is like being a grown ass baby. And,
Mm,
and so that's where that concept comes in with the big heads, little baby body. I also had like recently when I started putting the project together, I had
yeah.
dug into Lord Willin by the Clips and Pharrell,
Okay.
and I was super inspired. Like I was super inspired by the depth of the sound in that album, and
Yes.
so the project kind of plays on that artwork a little bit too.
Okay. It's making sense. Okay. But yeah, so that's dope that not only again shouts out to Ebony and your girlfriend having, those thoughts and kind of just, went with it, but where you was grabbing the inspiration and stuff from. And that's why I was kind of interested about too, because I was wondering, I was like, why is your head so big and the body is small? But then, and then looking, like, I could barely see almost, I don't know if that was diapers or it's just like, just your, like, I was trying to like
Yeah,
figure all of this out, like breaking it down, like really what's happening, what's going on,
yeah,
especially when we do get into talking about the tracks too, is listening to the tracks on what vibe you was going for, but then also having the sun, clear sky, and you smiling at the same time is also very telling. Like
mm,
it's not saying it's like a contradiction, but it's a contrast between rather, and this is just me coming up with this. We're talking now as you was able to talk about the different topics that you did throughout the project and then ending it with the last song, almost as in you've brought some reprieve and some, great feeling to yourself that this is the image that is what is created out of that being this quote unquote late bloomer.
Yeah, you pretty much hit the nail on the head right there. You know, like I like to like all of my music, even if I get into like topics that aren't necessarily the most positive topics. I always like to kind of end the story on a high note. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
yeah, there's it feels weird when it's just left when it's just left super low, and so I like to kind of wrap it up into something that's like just more uplifting, or
Yes.
yeah, uplifting, or just brings you back to zero versus being negative. Yeah,
I love it. Again, this is what happens when you put in the time, the effort, the love, the TLC all into your art. You
all of those things, man.
you are not going to just willy nilly just throw stuff out there just to throw stuff out there. It really has to be not only intentional, meaningful, but again, it's a telling of your growth.
Exactly, exactly, man. Yeah, that's the best thing any artist can do is to actually give a fuck about what they're doing. You know, yeah.
No fast food rap over here.
Exactly. It's good service over here, man.
Almost the creme de la creme. That's what we're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
My goodness, that's what I'm talking about. All right, so with this again for show us more, what I've been wanting to do, and I've done it the last at least three for the artists I've been with. Again, we're gonna go track by track. I have questions for the tracks. They're all going to basically be around the same thing, just asking you these four questions as we move along, and then any pieces you want to share while again talking about the tracks. Track by track, you're more than welcome to throw it in, and then wherever else we want to go from there, we will go from there.
Okay, cool.
But yes, so and I like how I didn't even run it back. It just ran it back by itself. So speaking of the first one, which again, I'm gonna keep saying I don't want to keep saying the brother's name wrong. So you say it one more
Oh,
time.
the
The
rhetorician.
rhetorician
Yeah.
is on here. Just like this is what to me this is just spoken poetry. Just opening up the project. Um, what in this particular case was the main message that at least you had him on there, what he's trying to get across for everyone listening on the intro of the track?
I mean, we're all on our own time. We're just all on our own time. What you think should be may not be until it's time to be, and
Yeah.
you have no control over that really, other than to work at your goals and whatnot. The breakthrough happens when it happens. You know, um, so kind of like the message was just kind of like
Hmm.
focus on the art, and all the other shit
Yes.
will happen when it's supposed to.
I feel that. Now, any highlights or bars from this track that either jumped out to you? I know the brother ended up doing his thing on it, but anything from there that you know caught your ear when listening?
Man, that last part where he says overnight sensations don't exist. They're all just late bloomers.
Yes.
And the truth to the truth in that statement right there is like everybody who's ever done anything, you
Yeah.
know, like they've all expected to get to success quicker than they did, regardless of how quick they get there. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So really, like when you see these people that it seems like they blew up overnight or whatever, it's really been a process that maybe you didn't see, maybe the next person didn't see, but they went through some process that brought them to that point.
Yeah.
And in whatever process that is, I'm sure 9 times out of 10 they feel like they should have been there sooner, or they're in some way, shape, or form late to the party. You know?
Yes. Yes. And when you're speaking on that too, it just not only reminds you of how many folks in hip hop that we just seeing are popping now that actually have been again in the background doing this for almost
Mm-hmm.
already a decade before then finally getting on to where they you know needed to be or they wanted to be originally, as well as it reminds me of shouts out to RJD2, it's a producer, DJ, etc., that he was the one that I first heard that term or the idea of the 10,000 hours before you become a master and, you know, proficient in it. And it's usually around that time that for some of the folks, again, I'm just going off the top, is that's when you start to see finally what you were harvesting. You can start to
Mm-hmm.
actually see it come into fruition.
Yep.
So I definitely agree with that last one, especially too talking about overnights and yeah, you know, this is in that over for real. I definitely
Definitely
do.
statement there, man.
Yes. Other question I got, and again, these are going to be similar ones as we're going through each track. Any behind the scenes or like memorable moments, whether if y'all was in the studio or he was like somewhere else, sent it over to you, and like it got you thinking, like anything that popped to your mind, like that was like, man, I remember exactly when this was happening for this track.
Yeah, man. He actually sent me. So the title of the project, it went through so many different iterations. Like
Yeah.
we was just making the project as we were going, and the concept came together. Like I was watching this fucking. Well, actually, no, I was listening to NPR, and
Mm.
it was this whole thing about late bloomers and how like the difference between like somebody who has success young and someone who has success older. The only difference is like that consistency, that time of consistency. That person that was younger and had that success, they probably either had a lot of specialized time in what they're doing,
Yeah.
or they were able to have more time to be consistent for a longer period of time.
Mm.
Whereas somebody who may be on the like older or I guess later end of things,
Yeah.
they may not have the time to be as consistent or have that space to provide that consistency, and so they may see success at a later moment when they're able to actually put that consistency into it, when they when they arrive at that concept of
Yeah.
that consistency being what takes you over the edge versus like whatever else people think will bring you there, you know.
Yes.
And so yeah, we I was listening to a NPR study about that, and the idea just late bloomer just stuck with me. And as soon as I told him that, like I don't even know how long it was. It was very short time after I told him that he sent me that entire poem, and it was the most perfect thing ever. Like, and he had just wrote it on the spot and everything, and I didn't know what I was gonna do for an intro for the project, and he did it and gave it to me. Yeah,
Goodness. Man, that's really dope. And especially to so did you search particularly for that NPR or did it just happen to show up?
it happened. It just happened randomly. I was driving around and it came on, and I just like my ears like perked up, and I just kept listening, and it was it was informative, and it was something I needed to hear in the moment too.
I'm telling you, man, the universe be working in very, very mysterious ways.
Yeah,
Again, to help you win. It's just up to you to pay attention to the signs.
exactly. I sincerely believe that. You know, the universe is gonna point you in the right direction. You just gotta, you know what I'm saying. You gotta choose which way to go.
That's so dope. So with that, this is what I got at least from me listening to the first track. I do it. This is how I've done at least breaking them down. Is I talk about the production, talk about the vibe that comes to my mind. Like first thing that come to mind, I don't go back and rechange it. Then I talk about some lyrics that popped out to me, and then just give an overall of what I felt about the track in general. So with this one, of course, the production throughout a lot of the tracks on this production, there's the running thing with this bass, even this bass and a lot of the stuff in the backgrounds for the tracks, as well as this one with the spacey sounds, just kind of just hitting. Doom, doom.
Hmm.
It's like to me, just again reminiscent of like a not only of an opening, but just all right, pay attention. It's like something's happening. Like pay attention.
Hmm.
The vibe I got from it was dark hopeful. So like it starts off like it's trying to figure out I'm living a lie. I'm in this, like just the inner dialogue. But then at the end, it's like let like even though you might think again, like you said, overnight sensations, they're late bloomers. almost kind of come into the sense of like there's nothing necessarily wrong with the late bloomer. That's actually part of how the process looks.
Yeah, yeah, that's that. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head again, man. It was, kind of like opening the curtains real slow. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You can kind of see what's going on in there. It's kind of like a monologue that sets up the entire play, pretty much.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good to see somebody. Just like I could just envision, like you said, the curtain slowly opening. I see him just sitting there on the stool, just a
Mm-hmm.
spotlight right there on him, and just speaking.
Exactly.
It
Yeah.
reminds me too of some Lupe Fiasco tracks when Aisha comes on, like Aisha says, and like those, like they thought it
Mm,
was cool to do it, like kind of
yeah.
just again starting off the project. That's like the feel that I got. Especially there were certain pockets that when he was speaking, it was reminiscent of that. So I also wanted to bring that shouts out to him because that's what it
Hell
brought
yeah.
me back to thinking too.
That's dope. I didn't even think about it like that, man. That's hella dope. And
Y'all know how to look. Poets know how to weave stuff together. Just because y'all don't necessarily are rhyming every single bar or anything and stuff like that, like y'all get deep.
yeah, yeah. He does it on some like on a different level than I do, cause like he he's a little different with the poetry. I like to hear his poetry a lot, cause he
Yeah,
like even his raps are like that too. They be like super just kind of like off kilter,
yeah,
but super poetic at the same time. Um, but yeah, man, it's
yes.
yeah.
So one of, or I should say, I think it's probably two of the bars that I got from it that was at least it popped out to me. There's a lot in there, so I mean, I didn't want to keep reading, writing all of this because then we got yours too, which you got a lot, which I'm just like, man, it's so hard to pick from some stuff. But one of the things that popped out to me was, do you let your opinions trigger your anxiety to create devils and demons?
Mm-hmm.
The righteous road starts with an action.
Mm. Yep.
Just all of us just thinking about that is really a lot of that overthinking, as well as those, again, we are our own worst critic. Is that going to help create anything, or isn't that creating devils and demons that are going to be fighting against you
Yep.
to end up getting on this particular road? And then knowing that it's going to start that road, it starts with the action. You have to move, like we were speaking about earlier. If you want to be the best in the game, you want to go play at all parks. You can't stay at one park forever.
Exactly. Yep. And it's like, yeah, it's I was talking about this recently, actually, how like your inner world is your outer world. So if you're gonna sit here and doubt yourself and think about all the wrong things that can happen,
Yeah.
those things are going to manifest themselves because you're creating that for yourself, essentially, by overthinking and putting those things in the front versus putting hopefulness or putting
Mm-hmm.
like the actual work forward. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like,
Yes. It's your internal reflection,
mm-hmm.
and you
Yep.
let that reflect out, then you get again the either the beauty or the ugliness. Is all dependent on what you again going deep in to reflect. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel it. Man, your soliloquy, I'm playing. Still remember that track. Still remember that track. Um, Overall, that was really a great intro to the project. It was a nice actually change of pace because a lot of folks I've been listening to, all love to them. I mean, even myself, I just be going straight in, just start just rapping some stuff.
Mm.
But this was a nice like, yo, this is how we set in the scene, and we set the scene very well with that.
Thank you. Shout out to the rhetorician, man. He did that shit. He also produced all the tracks on here too. Yeah, so he's working on this one.
And this came out nice. It really did. I will say that. Um,
Appreciate you, man.
Second one, we got the last dance.
Yeah,
Give it to us. What was the main message you was trying to get through to folks, or just one of? You don't have to give the main because you might want some people to interpret their own way. But
man, that was just a reminder, bro. That was just a reminder that I'm here. Like I'm
yeah,
here. I really do this. You know what I'm saying? Like I do this with my eyes closed. I do this in my sleep. I do this on accident. Like this is what
Yeah.
I do. It's like it's in me, not on me. That's really what that was, you know? Like just kind of getting into it. The way I imagined it was just like, you know, I'm literally like I'm lacing up my shoes, about to get on the court, you know, like and maybe people don't believe what's about to happen, but it's about to happen.
Yeah.
Like I woke up knowing it was about to happen. You know what I'm saying?
All right, young Ginobili.
That's exactly what it's like, man. Young Ginobili with the left. That shit's automatic every time.
My goodness. Same thing. Any highlights and bars from the track, like when you were writing this, penning it, was like, yo, yeah, this is y'all reminder real here with this one, with this bar right here.
Oh, that first part, just the first part, you know, thought you see me, but your eyes are closed. Quickest first step, I'm Derrick Rose.
Yeah,
I done threw away like 100 flows. You bum niggas
because
can pick up one of
one
those.
of
Like
those.
I
Yep.
literally, I literally throw away flows. Like you can go on my fucking Instagram. I got fucking days of writing exercises. It's me just throwing shit away. You know what I mean? And like that, I just do this. You know what I'm saying? Like that part was probably one of that. That was like the part that really set off the whole shit.
Yes.
um the fucking um uh uh yeah, the end part, the end part of the
Part.
first
Yeah.
verse, the end part of the first verse, like that middle part where it starts, you know, where I start chopping it up about, you know, the spaghetti and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like yeah, it just it was the, I don't know, the way that whole song was pieced together.
Yeah.
It was like there was so many highlights. It's hard to pick one. There's just like streaks coming through the whole strong song randomly.
You was just trying to make it hard for me. That's all I had to end up saying. Because I don't have the lyrics to this stuff, so I'm in there like listening, making sure. And I was just like, oh, I like this one. I'm like, wait, oh snap, this one too. I'm like, bruh, sorry, bro, I gotta pick one. I can't have you just giving me like 10. Like, might as well quote the whole freaking verse.
Man, I gotta go online and add the lyrics to it and shit too, so that people can do what they please and read it if they like.
Because again, from I'm still going back from the first track too. It's just talking about really is people really even like spitting, really writing bars anymore, doing their research to
Yeah,
actually come up with this stuff.
exactly.
I feel like again they're just throwing flows away, just you know, with little to no effort. Again, fast food rap, and knowing that it takes time to prepare and cook. You know, a feast and a great meal is just not like, oh yeah, blibbity blabbity blue, bam. All right, cool, y'all had that.
Yeah, like you have to. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Like the second at the top of the second verse, I said everything I spit is gold.
Go,
Alchemist got the
you got
elements to pave a brick road when I'm finished. Not many people will understand what the fuck I'm
fucking
saying.
just saying, yeah,
Like what I like, nobody, not like, a lot of people will not understand what the fuck I just said. Like and like you have to know what an alchemist is. You have to know
yes,
what alchemy
yes,
is. You have to maybe have read the book The Alchemist. You have to
Alchemist,
know what the yellow brick road symbolizes. You have to
yeah,
know that gold is an element
yes,
on the periodic table type. Like you have
yes,
to know these type shits. It's like, you know what I'm
yes,
saying? And like a lot of people don't pay attention to that
yeah,
shit. And you know, that's fine by me, but you know, skill wins.
yes. Yes. That, and the funny thing is that's the one you just spit, that's the one I wrote down. Exactly, because
Oh,
I saw
word.
the multi layers of it. It's like, yeah, everything I spit is gold. Alchemist got the elements to pave a road when I'm finished. Like, yeah, like for real.
Yeah, thank you, man. It's yeah. I think there's an art to having the, you know, to writing raps, and that right there is the part that's missing nowadays a lot, is the actual, you know, research and knowing what the fuck you're talking about and having something to say and having a way to convey it
Yes.
through clever wordplay, you know?
Yes. And the thing is, the more that you do it, for me, what I've noticed, because I was always a proponent of just only freestyling stuff, and I really rarely wanted to sit down and write because I wanted to capture the moment, the rawness, and everything
Mm-hmm.
in that moment's time, which again is still fine. But when you sit down and actually start to like develop and write, go back, re-edit things and you start researching stuff, it starts becoming fun because then after a while for
Yeah.
me, it starts becoming, okay, what can I really try to fit into these 4 bars using this information here to try to tie back to my first part of the whole song. Like, what
Yeah.
am I going to do? It's
You,
like puzzle pieces trying to figure out where to place them.
you learn a lot. Like you learn a lot rapping. Like just rapping and teaching yourself the intricacies of rap and even doing research on like past artists and all that shit.
Yes.
You learn a lot, you know. And then once you start writing, it's like you find yourself learning about topics that you never would have looked up had you not been rapping.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes. I agree 1,000% with you on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Any behind the scenes or memorable moments when writing this one, whether again studio, anywhere, when thinking of this track in particular?
Um,
Especially the name. I don't think of the name, Last Dance. Why Last Dance?
it reminded me of Michael Jordan. It just that was it. Like
Mm,
it reminded me of some Michael Jordan shit, you know, like nobody said I couldn't rap. You know what I'm saying? I just was like, I gotta prove it to myself type shit. So I'm gonna take some random personal and and rap real good. And, you know what I'm saying? Like it felt like some shit like that. So I was just like, all right, cool. I'm about to just call it Last Dance with
there it is. Okay.
some classic Michael Jordan shit.
Yeah, and speaking now, production wise on this, at least the first half, because my folks listen in to get to like the last few bars on the track, it switches, beat switches. Got the Congo drums, the shakers, again, this running bass, and I'm loving the transition sounds in the beginning. There wasn't again any like hard hitting kicks or any other snares in the beginning, which I thought was pretty dope. Which gave me a vibe. I don't know why this is the first thing that popped into my mind, but it did. It said 70s Black Dynamite. I was just like, it made me think like, doo whoop whoop whoop. I'm like, bro, like
Yeah,
I don't, like I told you earlier, for some reason, the way that you rap like again, you rap like you a don or like you a king on your mission. So like anytime I hear it, I'm like, this dude, it sounds like boss music. Every time I'm listening to it, like I don't even mean if you even talking about like a breakup song or something. It's just the way that your demeanor is when just approaching this stuff. I'm just like, bro, this still sound hard though.
thank you, man. I like that. I thought this song was also like it was like in my head. I felt like a spy versus spy kind of vibe. You know, like
Mm,
to be honest, uh, this song in the song right after it in James
yes.
Bond, they were written like literally at the same time.
Oh,
Yeah, and so writing writing James Bond, there was some stuff or writing Last Dance, there was some stuff I wanted to be more aggressive about, and
yeah.
that's basically what James Bond ended up being. You know what I'm saying? And it was like it was more of a focus type situation. But yeah, the spy versus spy, like man in suit,
True.
or you know what I'm saying, or man lacing up his shoes, about to fuck the whole game up type vibe was
Yeah.
exactly what I was going for.
Again, I was trying to picture it. Again, I just went with what first words that popped into or come from my mind. So yeah, it gave that particular feel.
But yeah,
The bars, like you said earlier, you already said the one with again, he spit his gold, alchemist, the elements. Like when I heard that, I was like, yeah, man, this man's been cooking already, even beforehand. And I'm like, oh shoot, they're like really breaking all of this stuff down and see it. I'm trying to think that would necessarily because I've been not only learning but really getting crazy with a lot of the double entendres, triple entendres, and all that stuff. But yeah, I would have to map that out there. But seamless writing with that was really dope.
thank you, man.
The second the second half when it switched, the bars that popped for me was I try to show them the light, but shaded my shine instead. Don't ever give me my props. I let it go to my head. And it made me think about the cover art because I
Yeah,
don't know why it made me go back
yeah,
and think about the cover art when hearing that too. And because then the shine, I'm also, again, I'm looking at the cover art. So that's why I was like, it's like a random, I don't know if this was your intention, but it's like a random nod to also the cover art, but also being truthful about the one side of the beat to the second side of the
That's
beat.
that's kind of dope. I didn't think about that part with the art kind of reflecting that, but
Yeah.
thinking about it now in retrospect, it does really like kind of it's exactly, yeah, that's a dope correlation. I think so that and that second half of the part of the song was like around that part where I said I was writing both the songs and there was
Yes.
more aggressive stuff I wanted to get into. Those bars in particular was just about like I've had people, tell me that I'm self-centered or narcissist
Yeah.
because I have this will to do what I need to do, not what I want to do, but what I need to do.
Yeah.
And like I, that was a reflection of that shit. Like people will say whatever they want to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's just something people have told me. Like I got a big head. You know what I'm saying? I think everything's about me or whatever. But I don't believe I think that. You know what I'm saying? I know myself better than anybody else knows, or better than anybody
Yes.
else knows me. So I know that's not to I know that to not be true about myself, and so I like to play with those concepts when I'm writing and whatnot, and dig into them because it also just helps me, like
Yes.
work through them, you know.
Again, it transitioned very well, and how you making me think of how you were writing this and James Bond together. You almost can allude to how those last bit of bars is transitioning into the next song, which I'm gonna just say overall, man, it was a very, very, very solid track with his great rhymes and the way that you was flowing, whether if it was on the fast or not on, the first half to the second half of the beat. Again, kept me engaged, and I know one of my critiques is going to be on here, which is I'm just an extra dude like that. Is some of them I'm like, man, they surprisingly short. Besides, of course, the Last Dance. The other ones I'm like, man, they're pretty short. But
Yeah,
overall, great job on that. Shouts out to Steph. I see you in here, Sapphic Steph in the building. Peace and love, fam.
what
What's going on?
up? What up? What up?
We in here talking, chopping it up with the brother Blksknn. If you have any questions, y'all curious, any of that stuff, please put it down in the comments. We going through late bloomer. This thing is as a dope 6 piece. That's all I'm gonna tell you right now.
Yes.
Fries, all of that. Well,
Yeah.
no fast food rap. It's not really that. We ain't got there's no fries, man. We got little caviar on the side. Might get you a nice little lobster tail with something.
Hmm.
Just butter sauce.
All that good shit. All that good.
But next one, which I'm already gonna say right now, hands down for me, beat wise as well as production wise, like this is my favorite track. James Bond. All right, give us some stuff with James Bond.
This song started this one started the project. This
Yeah,
is the first beat I heard for the project. We did a retreat, and it was me and a bunch of the homies, and and my girl, of course.
yeah.
We went on a retreat and we just kind of like worked on a bunch of music and art and shit. And
Mm,
the first night I got there, I recorded one verse and then I was in the room just chilling, and then I came back out and I heard him working on this fucking ridiculous shit upstairs, and I was like, yo, send me that. That's all I could say. I was like, send me that. Like, I need that one in particular. And he sent it to me, and I just sat on it. I sat on it, and then I just fucking did it one day. And I was like, oh, I was actually the first bars. I was standing there actually after he
uh-huh.
made that. I was standing there watching him perform this set
Yes.
at Shebang Fest, and
Mm.
he likes to play beats before he raps, and so he's playing all of his beats, and he plays that beat, and then it's playing, and then as soon as the beat drops, those bars just came to my head. The first bars that started the song. Everybody want to
Everybody
be
want to
black.
be
When it's
black.
time to be
Be
black, don't
black, but
nobody
they
want to be
want to be
black.
black.
And I was just like, oh, let's go. And I was like, right when I wrote that, I was like, it's on.
Man. Yeah, because when I heard, I was just like, again, just it's to some people that's going to sound simplistic, but when you start really breaking it down and listening to how simple it sounds, but what layers can get into it. Everybody want to be black when it's time to be black, but they don't want to be black. Thinking, of course, of the skin. I'm thinking of also you, and then
Yo,
I'm like, I'm trying to find all the dope different layers. I'm like, yo, like to me, I'm like, it's almost as if like if somebody were to say, like something closer in the mirror, so you objects in the mirror seem closer than they appear, but like flipped it in a way where literally it sounds still so simplistic, but there's multi layers to it, and it's just like, wait, what? And go back and be like, I thought it was just this, but it's also this, and that. What?
yeah, yeah. That's so that the writing that is like it wasn't even it wasn't even about being
Yeah,
black. It was about being me. Like you
yeah,
said, it was about being me and people feeling like people felt like they could live my life better than I can live it. So I'm like, all right, if you want to be me, you try to be me. It's not as easy as it looks,
yeah,
man. But so be it. But then on the flip side of things, you have the whole situation of being black here in America. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying, and the culture that we bring and, I'm not saying that the culture is just for us because if we're being real about it, there was
yeah.
a lot of white people involved in the beginning of hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? After hip hop was established as a sound, getting
Yeah,
it off the ground to be popular, that was a lot of white people involved. You know what I'm saying? And we're not going to act like they weren't a part of it. We're not going to act like Latino people weren't a part of it. We're not going to,
oh yeah, for
you know what I'm
sure.
saying? We're not going to sit here and act like that. You know what I'm saying? And so it was just a reflection of like the racial issues going on. You know what I'm saying? It's that and more so just a reflection of a point in my life where I'm just fully grown into myself like as a man and not a boy
Mm-hmm.
anymore, like a full grown man, and like realizing like nobody's gonna know what's good for me
Yeah,
more than I'll know for myself. You know what I'm saying? And nobody can live my life better than I can live my life.
yeah. And I may be reaching with this one too from the first bars too, but I don't know why. But like also a darkness to light setup came too. It's like because of how some people want to be the bad guy, but then when it's time to be bad guy, they don't want to be the bad guy.
Yep, and that's actually I had a conversation about that today, telling the truth.
Yeah,
People talk about how they want the truth and authenticity and like that, but when they get that, they don't like it. They really don't like it. They shy away from that shit. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So I'm gonna be as blatant as I can. You know what I'm saying? And say what I need to say in the music, and that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
it's dope. Um, any other memorable moments or behind the scenes when thinking of this? Because you already gave me a few of them, which again is pretty dope. But any other ones?
Uh, Nah, not really. Just the beat carried the song. Really, like
Yeah,
it. Like, of course, I rapped well on that shit,
yeah,
but like the beat really, like that shit inspired what happened on the rap side of things. Like that shit. Like overall, man, I truly feel like we put together the sound of hip hop on this project in a way that not it has not necessarily been heard before. The tribal
mm,
drums
yeah,
and just the way everything hits, like I personally haven't heard nothing like it. And maybe you can like maybe there's things that are similar to it as far as maybe some of the deliveries or because the fact that we're rapping on it. But
yeah,
if we're talking about the sounds put together with the poetry, put together with the raps and the content of it,
yeah,
you can't lose there. It's really nothing. I can't think of anything like it.
yeah. Man, like I said, this is my favorite track. Definitely production wise, and then of course there's some stuff in there if people aren't listening and they had to look up some stuff, especially in the bars. There's one thing I'm gonna talk about in one of the bars that I caught, and I'm like, I know I heard this before, but I'm like, what is this? And then I had to look it back up real quick.
Oh hell yeah.
But production wise, yes, crisp hi hats. I love the horns. I love horns. Whether if it's saxophone, trumpets, I love horns. That deep kick, and then for me again, it's like that dark. It's just that dark melody for me. The little boom, boom. It's like
Yeah, it's like
again,
real menacing.
yes,
Yeah,
yes. Which came to the vibe, which I said, just whatever comes to my mind. I don't know why. So I got Outlaw Boss theme music is what I just got. That's the vibe that I just felt like I got from
yeah,
it.
yeah. I like that outlaw boss theme music. Some like gangster ass spy music. It's like
Yes,
watching the Joker
yes,
and realizing you actually like the Joker.
yes.
You know what I'm saying?
It can be conflicting, but then you come to understand why.
Mm-hmm.
It seems for a lot of us who do get older, you start to actually, you know, relate more
Mm-hmm.
with either the villains or the anti-heroes.
Exactly. Exactly. And like I relate with both, and
Yeah,
sometimes I'm more of a villain than I am a hero. Sometimes I'm more of a hero than I am a villain. It just depends on who's telling the story.
yeah. And then the lyrics, go and sleep on the boy like CPAP,
Mm-hmm.
masked up when we just came for the bread and the cheese. If need, send him up for a repass. Like what? Like
Yeah.
yo. So first, go to sleep on your boy like a CPAP. At first, I'm like, hold on. Wait, I know it has to do something with, of course, not only just sleeping, but like I'm trying to think, what is that? And I look it up and I'm like, yo, what the for the nose? I'm like, yo, what? And then after that, masked up to still come with it because it's also with the nose, but then also I know masked up is coming up for like coming to get the bread and stuff and then send them up for a replass because then you start off with the next part of the send them up to God, like all of that stuff. I was just like, yo, it was a nice setup.
Thank you, man.
It was really nice setup.
Thank you, bro. But
But but overall, like I said, my favorite track productions wise and really the dope bars and the pockets that you had on it, like yeah, again, that's why at this point to me, you the don in what you do.
thank you, man. I think my favorite bars on that song were probably at the end. The
Mm,
fucking it could get violent. Suited up like I work for MI6. Black tux that is so well cut I could tuck any weapon I want, so don't try shit. Golden eyes that see through the lies, I could
mm.
tell when we speak I won't fall for the mind tricks. Two O's with a seven at the end, still the best in the sport. Got the touch like
Touch like
Midas.
Midas. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
It's just so.
Again, it's too many. It's look it again. You was making it hard. Like okay, like still with the beat. And now that you made me think about it from the past two tracks, the Last Dance and this one, strong beginnings with these bars.
Thank you, man. Yo, okay, so when I started rapping, that was my MO. I was like, that was my MO. The only way to get people to actually give a fuck about what I'm saying is to start off the verse with something stupid that nobody else is gonna say, but it's dope as fuck. Like that's my MO right there, honestly. And once I get you there, you're in. You're not going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's my MO.
Ooh. There it is, y'all. And also riddled through Last Dance and James Bond going into the next track we're gonna talk about, which is Black Ranger interlude. I was hearing snippets from was that Will Smith?
Yeah, you caught
Mm,
that. Yeah.
mm. I was hearing
So
snippets from him. Go ahead.
Will Smith, that was from the movie Pursuit of Happiness. He
Mm,
was portraying Chris Gardner, which is one of the late bloomers that I was first introduced to as a person. Watching
mm,
Pursuit of Happiness growing up, and then looking up Chris Gardner and realizing this man really didn't find any success, like no success at all till like his 40s and 50s. Like that's
mm.
crazy. You know what I'm saying? And dude was like selling bone density scanners and all sorts of shit, like just trying to do anything to get by. And I resonated with that because like, bro, I did fucking getting out of high school. I worked at a call center. I did door to door. I fucking worked at a furniture store. I worked at a fucking rental car place. I've delivered food. I've delivered packages. I've delivered groceries. I've worked at a dispensary. I've worked security. I've done so many things,
Yeah,
just to try and make it work. And so like I just resonated with the Chris Gardner story.
yeah.
You know, I
And
haven't
then
found my stock market hit my stock
uh,
market break like he did
uh
yet, but we onto it. We onto it. I'm in my bone density scanner, you know, in my stock market course stage right now. You know what I'm
Understood.
saying?
Understood.
Yeah.
It's a hard case to crack. But once you get into it, there it is. Said a genie's intuition. Shout outs to Cranial. What's going on, Cranial? Peace and love.
What up?
Man,
What up?
the the other thing that I was saying too is he also had, and was that you or whose voice is that? That was, it's not the Black Ranger.
EBT.
Like, yeah, this fool's EBT. Oh my goodness, bruh. Oh, it's EBT. Oh, bruh, you keep changing your name, bruh. You gotta stop doing these things. Goodness, but shouts out to you, my G. But I keep hearing the Black Ranger. Who said that? Was that, where did y'all get that snippet from?
Yo, I don't know where the fuck he got that from. I don't know where he got that from. This nigga be at the show just pressing that button on his, like when he does his sets and shit.
Yeah,
I don't know where he got it from, but it's like perfect. He if you go look into the rhetorician, he has
yeah.
this whole he does this whole world building where he's descendant of Zach Fox, and it's a whole thing. Zach Fox was a Black Ranger from Power Ranger, or Zach, sorry, not Zach Fox.
Jack Fox. What's it, homie? That unfortunately,
Descendant.
no,
It's not Zach
no,
Fox.
no.
His last name is something else.
Because right when you made me think of Zach Fox, you made me start thinking of the dude. I got depression.
Oh no.
I'm sorry, you
No,
made
no,
me
no, no,
start
not
thinking
him,
of
not him,
him.
not him, not him. Is Zach something? I can't remember his
Okay,
last. Taylor. There we go. Descendant of Zach Taylor.
okay,
Zach Taylor's the dude who played Black Ranger on Power Rangers, not Zach Fox. That's
okay.
crazy.
Because right when you said that, I'm like, wait.
Yeah.
So you went from being black to having depression. Like, what's
Yeah,
going on?
yeah.
Like,
Thank you,
yo,
Allstate. Allstate got me. He remembers.
yeah.
Zach Taylor. That's his last name. But yeah, he's like he's got this whole world building thing. He's about to go into a new facet of his world here soon, hopefully. I'm gonna be blessed to be a part of. But that's a whole different thing. But
Mm,
that man, he's a genius in his own. This fucker like put all these beats together in weird ways and did his tags in places that like I would usually tell people to take that tag out of the beat, but I like that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. It fit. It was very hip
no
hop.
cranium. Yeah,
Yeah,
man. Okay. Yeah, now I looked it up, and now I remember who Zach Taylor is. Yeah,
yeah,
now I remember. Of course, I've seen this dude. But and then to me, it's just also reminiscent and telling. Not only earlier when I was talking about, I said Black Dynamite. I don't know why Black is coming up just because your name is Black Skin, but then Black Ranger and all this. But it's very dope. But now, all right, let's get into a Black Ranger interlude. Give us some taste from the Black Ranger interlude.
man. Black Ranger interlude. So I wasn't gonna do that. I wasn't gonna do the interlude, the poem thing.
Yeah.
I was gonna like I don't know, find a way to like, you know, maybe like do some just a beat as the interlude or maybe just like have some, you know, talking over a beat or something. I was just gonna figure it out. Then he sent me that and then I was gonna rap over the second half. You know what I'm saying? The second half of the beat
Mm.
where you know the drums drop in there. Um, but then he was like, "Nah, you got." He was like, he was like, "I want you to do that poetry thing, you know, like do the poetry thing." Because I used to do it on my old projects and shit, and I was like, "Fuck it, why not? I'm bringing it back. I'm here. I'm doing it." And you know, his poem came first. His first half of it came, and then I did mine's after that, and it just fit
Yes.
together so well. Oh yes, much love to EBT, by the way, man. I appreciate the follow.
Yeah, that's a G, man. Yeah, check them out for real. Check them out. I'm being serious. Like if I have like any other folks that I would really put in my rotations, Black Skin is one of them for real.
Thank
To be honest, I really don't listen to a lot of mainstream nowadays. Not to say no disrespect to some of the sounds that is still being created is pretty dope. But at the same time, I'm like, I know too many dope individuals anyways creating music, so I'd rather listen, and then they be offering more than what I'm actually really trying
you,
to go out
man.
there and listen to.
I'm saying, bro. So I was actually talking about the whole decline of hip hop thing, and how the reason why it looks that way is because the mainstream is offering shit that nobody actually like is seeking, you
Yeah,
know? And so in return, they're gonna go like the mainstream is gonna either go look for other genres, or they're gonna have to go search on their own for that hip hop music that they're looking for, but they just
Yes.
haven't found it yet, or if they're finding it, it's hard for them to find it. You got the Instagram algorithm fucking everybody's shit up. You can't even see what niggas is posting. Like most of the niggas that follow me don't even see what I post. You know what I'm saying? Like all this is a bunch of stupid shit that keeps people from getting what they actually want, and people are realizing that they don't want that shit. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? They want something different. They want something new. They want something that's gonna help them, not hurt them. You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
yeah. And so I think that's where the decline of hip hop is coming from right now. It's not an actual decline. It's just a
Hmm.
call for something more substance filled.
Yeah. Because we are in a time of oversaturation with a lot of music. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's love. There's it's dope. To, everybody have their own flavors and again their own experience to tell from their perspective. But it gets to a point where, and shouts out to Buckshot and KRS-One for this. It always makes me think of the song from their project Survival Tactics called
Mm-hmm.
Robot. And the chorus is everybody wanna rap, everybody wanna sing, everybody do their thing like a mother in robot. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
to a point where it's like it's just factory made. Like I hear that
Yep.
sound was trending, I'm gonna jump on that wave and I'm gonna
Yes.
rap and act just like
And
that.
that ain't gonna get you nowhere but stuck in a hole of not knowing who you are.
Yep.
You're gonna be portraying this image for hella long as somebody that you are not, and it's gonna fuck you up in the long run. Like you're gonna be on drugs and on all sorts of weird shit, doing weird shit, shaking your hips online and you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
whatever the fuck niggas be doing, bruh. But like I'm not for that shit. But you know, niggas can do as they please. Like live your life. Everybody's young and dumb at some point.
Yes.
You know, so I'm not gonna knock niggas for being young and dumb,
Yeah.
but like at the same time, at some point you gotta wake up and be a human and not a robot.
Yes. And speaking of that, was there any highlights as well as behind the scene memorable points with the Black Ranger interlude?
Man, nah, it was just really easy to write, man. It was really easy to write. Um, again, the rhetorician, he make the production that he gives it makes it real easy to kind of just flow in the way that I flow and just make it happen. He does a good job at creating pockets.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to him.
Mm. Again, shouts out to him for
Yeah,
real.
for real, man.
I'm gonna have to definitely go and check out after this for sure. I mean, I just followed him as well too because he followed back, so I'm about to go definitely go check his stuff out as well too.
Yeah.
Uh, production wise on this one, I don't know. I get a rising background sound. Of course, you got the melody, and again, it's this bass. The bass holding a lot of this together. The glue.
Mm-hmm.
The vibe I got was like a grand rising. I don't know why this grand rising is what it
Mm-hmm.
just felt like. Uh, lyrics from the rhetorician from him. I got foam hammer hit you. I'm lost in a book. Something about this world won't suit you. What's your existence in this new school?
Yeah, man, that's it. That's his the rhetorician. That's his character. So if you dig into the rhetorician's
Yeah.
catalog, he's got his character carries a foam hammer.
Mm-hmm.
Foam hammer has all this power in it, and and he's yeah, that was just a reference to his character. And then he's a very philosophical rapper as well too. So he
Yeah.
asks a lot of questions, and he's very like he's hip hop man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if there was a superhero called Hip Hop Man, that would be this nigga, you know what I'm saying? So like he's really like yeah, it's it makes you think, you know what I'm saying? Lost in a book, where we all should be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It just makes you think, it makes you think. Paint pictures and makes you think.
Again, balance to a lot of this,
Yeah.
and then yourself, because I know I remember from previous when we also talked about who was black skin as a child. I don't know why this was. There's still the whole half of like you going on and having that spoken word and just the poetry in it. I don't know. I just said, and as the shrooms start to settle in, the room starts to turn into my childhood home, and then the rest of that too, because I didn't continue to try to write the rest of the bars that was coming along with it, but just that picture, you painting that picture after again going through that psychedelic experience is like it's turning into that, and talk about your bike being stolen, and then fools punching the air by by the notes that you write, like
Yeah, so that part was like yeah, it was just a dive into like yeah, just dive into my psyche almost, you know what I'm saying? Like where I'm at when I'm writing, you know, like I kind of do turn into the child version of myself as I'm writing because I get super excited about the little things that I write. I get so excited sometimes I can't keep writing because I'm just so
mm-hmm.
excited about what's going on the page, you know. And it also, you know, makes me think back to the things that made me who I am. You know, getting my bike stolen, you know, is one of those experiences that made me who I am. You know what I'm saying? Because like, same type of people that steal bikes and make fun of you over time are the same people that you know praise you now for being such an independent thinker of your own. You know
Yes,
what I'm saying? And it's just how the cookie crumbles, but it's still something to reflect on at the end.
beautiful overall, great interlude, open thoughts with the spoken word. Again, another nice in between reminder going back towards to the beginning. So like a not like it's not like it's saying like of a reset, but like all right, get ready for the last half.
Yeah, it's a callback. It's a
Yeah.
callback. It's an intermission. It's an intermission, an interlude. You know
Yes.
exactly what the interlude is supposed to do. I feel like over time the idea of the interlude has gotten lost, and it's become like this became an opportunity to kind of just like do whatever the fuck you want.
Want to do? Yeah.
Yeah, which essentially like is what we're doing, in the grand scheme as far as making music. But we have to understand that there's a listening flow, like people listen to it, and there's a way that things flow that is endearing, and there's a
Yes.
way that things flow that may be harsh to the ears, or maybe jolting is the word I think I'm looking for. You know what I'm saying?
What's up, Ty? What's going on? Peace and love. We in here
What
with
up?
Black Skin. Check it, check it.
What up? What
But
up? What up?
appreciate you, fam, coming in here.
But yeah, it's a callback to the intro, just kind of like resetting the scene, like you said.
Man, we with it. Now, the next one, which the title of it, because of me and my numbers in my head stuff, and I was like, okay, I see the title. I'm like, it would have been funny if it was the last track because it's six, but like, et cetera, et cetera. But let's go ahead and let's talk about Six Fouls.
Yes.
Give us a bit on Six Fouls.
Six Fouls, man. I was just reflecting on my relationship with women. You know what I'm saying? That's really what that song was about. And being honest with myself and kind of like, working through some of the ideas that have been planted in my brain, and, uh, and kind of just like accepting things of how they are and how they are going to be in the future, and however that may look.
Yeah.
uh, but yeah, that's basically the background of that song. It was yeah, not necessarily
Mm,
written in a dark place, but
yeah.
you know um i realized that I realized that sometimes it sounds darker than it really is, some of the
Mm-hmm.
music I create. And yeah, that one was one of those ones that sound darker than it really is, but in reality it's just a story of really just coming into my own, as and understanding the relationship between man and woman,
Yeah.
not boy and girl, or
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's just the awareness. Like even the part where it was saying, you got to the Six Fouls, but you got the awareness to also, sit your own self out. You know, Yes, dope. Yeah, dope female trainer. Yeah, this is all the brother Black Skin right now. So yeah, just coming in and just showing them love. So I mean, the best thing to do is if you can just follow the brother, check out the project, Late Bloomer. But if you have questions that you're
Yeah.
curious about while we're doing it, you're more than welcome to drop it down in there. But yeah, for right now, yeah, this is all his. It's all his for him. This is his. I'm just here hosting. But this is his time to shine. already been
Appreciate y'all
shining.
being here, man. For real, for real.
So any highlights or any behind the scenes from Six Files that just popped out to you?
Um, uh, let me see. Yeah, I mean, so I keep getting told that this is people's favorite song as far as like, yeah, like people keep saying this is their favorite, and I've been trying to find out why.
Why?
And like me and Jordan talked about, or Jordan is a rhetorician. If I
Yeah.
say Jordan, I'm talking about the rhetorician. But me and
Or
him
Michael
talked
Jordan.
about,
It's cool if you know Michael Jordan too. It's all good. All the references, flu game, all the stuff. It's cool if it's really Michael
man.
Jordan, but you can't say much. It's all good.
Michael Jordan's one of he's a big influence. Just his attitude, man.
Yes.
That man's out of pocket. But but yeah, we talked about it, and I think so. The way I like sometimes I hear a beat, and it's like I think of my voice as like a drum, like and like especially like a beat like this, it's like I'm almost like scatting, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
like with full words, and
Mm,
that's the way. That's kind of like the way I thought about this when I wrote it. Um, and I don't know that might be why people say it's their favorite because
yeah.
it's not necessarily a typical way of like approaching a beat like that. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of it's interesting that a lot that people are telling me that this one is their favorite. Um,
Mm,
but it's interesting. It's always interesting to hear which ones people like the most.
yes.
Because I always have a different. I just have a different idea of which one I like the most or which one is my favorite. And so I was surprised to hear that.
Yeah. And I will also say this too, not knowing too where people are at the point in time at their lives right now. I'm not saying that some folks may be feeling this because they in a relationship feels,
Mm,
and it's just
mm,
literally just like it's just making them call back to be like maybe they looking in the mirror and thinking like, was I a part to blame in some of this?
yeah,
Or, like where is this looking nowadays? Because I will say this now, the media and social media have done a very great job of showing how much of a gender war it is. So I don't know
mm-hmm,
if that also is because that's a very prevalent, at least, issue right now that people are just kind of like, oh, okay, so reminiscing on your past relationships, reminiscing stuff. It's like, man, shoot, really, what's the climate of relationships right now? It's kind of hard.
yeah,
Is it this? So I don't know. Man, there's a number of reasons why, but that's very interesting for you to say that too.
yeah. It's I was yeah. This crazy these are all topics that I've actually talked about like within the last like day. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole gender wars thing. It's
I was
crazy.
listening into your mind. I was there at the conversations. I'm just playing.
Life is crazy like that, man. But the whole gender war thing is like that's a whole different conversation. But I think at the end of the day, everybody got to understand that you know we're all just humans, bro. This is everybody's first time on this earth.
Yeah.
Like life ain't perfect, shit ain't fair. Figure it out, man. like man, because the whole back and forth between like man should do this, woman should do that, like it doesn't get anybody anywhere. Figure out what works for you and the person you're with, man, and fucking go.
Yeah.
Man,
um, don't let anybody else dictate your relationship. That don't make no sense.
exactly.
That's like that's like me going to the DMV and telling them I need me a double burger with cheese. And they're like, we don't do that. It's like,
Yeah,
so you know what? You missing out because now you ain't gonna get my money because you don't have no double burger and cheese. And you like, bro, we get you trying to get you to drive. What are you talking about?
yeah. It's like I don't know, man. It's crazy because like it's also like people like go on social media for all these different advice and whatnot
Yes.
that these different gurus and people in perfect relationships can tell them, but you can't see what's happening behind those doors, behind those walls, man. And at the end of the day, them motherfuckers be getting divorced, and they gave you all this fucking all
Ooh.
these tips
Ooh,
Like, what you gonna do now? You finna get divorced too, nigga.
oh my goodness. There's too many people. I don't want to name any names, but yeah. But like again, this could be a whole nother different topic that
Man,
I
I'm
don't want to
saying,
open
bro.
Pandora's box on. But yes. Yes. Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
thank you, Cole.
Oh
Thank you, Cole.
yes. It definitely does. I'm gonna keep giving it some spins throughout the rest of this week. So on this one, this is one of these are the last two songs. I didn't get enough time due to like when we was making all this stuff and podcasting, getting work stuff done,
I
but
feel
I
it.
still got to show the love and the respect. Right, listening to it right now, and while we was talking, it gave me like that. If you don't leave me, slash, I don't know why in my head I was hearing if heaven was a mile away, do do do
Yo,
do 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 do. Like I don't
yes,
know why, but it was giving me that
that
feel.
song, bro. That song was that song was in the back of my mind the whole time I was writing it. That's fucking crazy.
Yo,
That's fucking wild. I don't know, man, but yeah, that song was in the back of my mind the whole time, and I kind of thought about how, like, if you think about how Nas approached that, it's actually kind of similar.
yeah,
Yeah, it actually is kind of similar if you think about it. Mm.
yeah.
Wow.
Again, you on to something. With look, so this is the beautiful thing about art too, and when you continue to hone your craft, there's gonna be stuff that when you write it, it's intentional. But
Hmm.
because you start weaving this stuff together, there's also parts that unconsciously you start adding in there that you don't even think is there. But once you start looking at it from a whole, you're like, oh shoot, that's also added to that. Or oh dang, that actually came from it. Or I did feel
Yeah.
this part here and then. Dang, I was really there influenced with this without even knowing, but like still did it on my own spin.
Yeah.
Like it's so interesting. Like so for those who are out there listening, especially when you are not sure what to do with your art, really just be in the process because once you start trusting your process and learning it, it's not going to lead you wrong. It's not going to steer you wrong. And you're going to come up with some stuff that you think is surface level, but when you go back and really listen to it, you're like, oh snap, there's actually more weight to this than I thought.
Yeah, that's that's very true. And also, like, also just like practice and
Yes.
exercise that pen, because at the end of the day, it's like the things that you may have found it like a little more difficult to do, that you feel
Mm-hmm.
like you tried and it wasn't really what you thought it was, that might be the shit people love the most. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you trying something new and just doing what you do. Like, so just
Yeah.
practice that shit, man.
Yeah. But that's what I got from it. The lyrics off the top of my head, of course, the part where again you fouled out, you're on the bench, but already I have the awareness to, sit myself out. Like that particular part I remember from the bars, I was like, okay, yeah, that hit me first, besides of course all the others. But was
Yeah.
there any that you had from there that was like, yeah, this is when I was penning it, this is what got me?
Um, yeah, just like that. Like, the part in the middle, like, was like more personal than most things that I've written. Um, but I think I'm getting more comfortable with like being personal, like in my music.
Yeah.
Just like being okay with it
Yeah.
and just like doing my thing and not necessarily thinking about what it may make me look like. Just
Yes.
kind of like, yeah,
And that might be part of the reason, another reason why people like this track too. They get a piece
yeah,
of that personal side of you that maybe, they love, what you be doing and what you bring as, of course, the king, the don, the boss that you are with the music you making. But like that one little part in a vulnerable, state, just like, oh, dang, like I can relate to this.
yeah. That could be it. You might be right on that. Yeah, you probably are right on that.
Again, unconsciously, people look and search for stuff that, that really feels to them, and then they come to find out when you writing about a lot of personal stuff, they feel like again they start feeling closer to you without you even knowing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. That's true, man.
Yeah, but other than that, another solid, really good track that just to continue to follow on. For me, it's really no duds on this at all.
Oh, thank you, man. That was another goal right there, to make something somebody could just play and just play all the way through and actually enjoy it and have it bring them to a bunch of different places. It is
Which
something.
is a lost art.
Exactly, and I think like just putting things together. Like I always say, like one of my favorite examples of just putting together like a cohesive project is chicken and beer. Like
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
weird. It's weird to say that and weird to think about it. But if you listen to Chicken and Beer, it brings you so many different places, like so many different places, and then you come to those tracks that are like super hip hoppy, or like not super hip hoppy, but are hip hoppy
Yeah.
enough, like what I'm saying, that are like, and then you get back to the super radio shit, then you get back to like the songs he makes for women, like, but it's a good uh, reference to how to take people from point A to point B to point C.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And maybe
Oh,
sometimes
without
back to
stand.
point. And then you listen to projects like, the Carter 2.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And how he has, fly in, fly out in the interlude joint, and how they're the same beat and he's just fucking going over that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's how you put together one of those kind of albums. Like there's all these different references, and it is a lost art. It really is a lost art. And that, I'm a project guy. Like I put my music together in projects. I generally don't write or make singles. Like it's weird to try and or think
Yeah.
of my music that way. Um, so yeah,
You a concept
yeah,
guy.
exactly.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. I love a great concept.
Hell yeah.
And even if you don't have a concept, sometimes that could still be your concept. It's hard to get away from having that concept, but it's also just not only a testament to your art and your skill and who you are as a person, but just also showing how much you love your art and seeing the difference again when we talking about the oversaturation and just the fast food rap of stuff now. It's like this is what's trending and this is how people need to go about doing it. Is just you got to keep having singles, keep having this to stay relevant, doing this and that. Which shouts out to the brother Curtis King. Just was saw he just put out his project
Mm-hmm.
and really going with the flow of not only going through a massage, but really loving on your art and really not only getting to pay for what it's worth, but we're also trying to make stuff that's going to last. Not just because it was for that moment in time, which is still beautiful. We want it to be able to be an echo of that moment in time. But again, it becomes a echo so that it's just not only in that moment in time, it continues to go on and on and on.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes it so that it's like timeless. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You can uh you can add to it, you can subtract, you can do whatever you want. Like the way, like even this project, for example, this project has spawned so many things for me that I wasn't even expecting, and
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna be able to build it out into a lot more than I was even thinking of in the first place. And so I think that that's the beauty of putting together a project, like you were saying. Like
Yeah.
it it it, it makes it easier to be an artist.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of trying to worry about what song or what kind of song to put out that'll make the next wave, or that'll like be in the current wave that's going on, that'll like
Yes.
catch on and get popular, like trying to figure that shit out, trying to figure out like like how the algorithm and how it works, all that shit. Like fuck all that shit, just like make a concept and follow the concept and just do what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's literally like an artist only putting just one line on there, and that's considered the single versus completing the art piece and putting it out and giving it out to you. So it's a whole body of work.
Exactly, exactly. And I know down the line when, like as things grow, I'm gonna have to, work on a whole project and then like shop it and listen to it with a bunch of different people and figure out which one should be the
Yeah.
single. based
Yeah.
on what people say, and then put that one out as a single.
Yeah.
Like I know I'm gonna have to do shit like that in the future, but like overall, like everything is made to be together. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bam. There it is, y'all. And as we are coming to a close and finishing up, let's go ahead and jump into the last track, which again, it's never too late for a lot of these things, y'all. So
Yes.
go ahead. Tell us about Never Too Late.
Man, this one was, I believe, I believe this was the last one we put together for the project. We had to rearrange the beat a bunch. Uh,
Mm,
it was kind of tough to get it together, but once we got it together and right in the perfect pocket,
yeah.
it was it was smooth sailing after that. The hook was just like freestyled. Like
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I'm keeping it. Like, and
Okay.
yeah,
Put on the gas, still going slow.
it's an experience, man. It was an experience for sure.
Yeah.
But the verses were easy to write too. The whole song is just kind of like looking into the possibilities of the future. You know,
Yeah.
not necessarily what's set in stone, but what could be. You know, it's never too late for what could be.
Yeah. To to me, listening to this too, and again, some of the stuff I didn't get to, add my extra layers to it, but listening to it, it also is like a reminiscent of again, the come around to now that victory lap of like, coming through to like look forward to, like you said, what can happen in the future. But it sounded like a victory lap, as in, there's still a lot more to still be going, but
Mm-hmm.
being glad about what you've already accomplished, and now still we're gonna keep pushing forward and then bring it back to not only if you start the track back over or the whole project back over, but I always still keep alluding to your cover art because it still plays such a fervent piece into it. It can show you the beginning and the end without you even really knowing.
Yep. Yeah. That's basically, yeah. It's just like a piece that wraps it all up. You know, like you can you can always get where you're going.
Yes.
Always get where you're going. It truly is never too late. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And this whole concept of time, like you were saying, it's that again, it's a concept. It's something that you can tackle it, come to try to understand what it's conveying to you, but ultimately it's just one of many realities.
Mm-hmm.
Because it doesn't make sense that it's 7:29 for us, then the whole other side of the world, it's already the next day.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then even in the US, all the different time zones. So it's just like, really where is this idea of being late? Because in other places you're technically early, and then in other places you're extremely late.
Yeah.
So what is it?
Exactly. Yeah. Time is a weird thing, man. We measure so many things by time. You know, so many things we measure by time, and if we understand that time is just a concept that, like isn't truly like is perceived differently
Yes.
by each person, then how could we measure so many things off of time?
Yep.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Um, any highlights, any behind the scenes memorable moments for you with Never Too Late?
Uh, just that, like the fucking awkward start to the song, like so. I was so the way the beat was sent to me, exactly where the beat starts. That's all. That's how it was sent to me. And so when I made the hook, I was trying to record and I couldn't get it right on beat because I couldn't get the starting point. And so I had to
Mm,
go to the middle of the song and do the middle hook and then just take that and paste it at the front. Um,
mm,
and then as far as like the little like two lines that were just to start the whole thing, the standing and the answer prayer,
yeah.
from someday. Um, I was just talking to my girlfriend one day, and she was talking about like being in like standing in the prayer that you ask for,
Yeah.
and standing in the answer prayer. And I thought about it, and I was like, that's how you that's how you realize, what's necessary for that next step. You know what I'm saying? Is to appreciate the blessings that you have based on what you ask for. You know what I'm saying? And looking at what you have and realizing that it is exactly what you asked for, and appreciating that, and
Yeah.
yeah, growing from there. Mm.
There it is, y'all. Overall, like I said, no skippable tracks on this at all. Definitely a wonderful listen. I'm going to sit with this more because, again, for this interview, I want to take some more time to actually sit with it because I know we was like on the, hey, we getting this real quick and done. And I'm like, it just popped out of the hot presses. And I'm like, oh man, I gotta listen to it, get some stuff ready. I'm like, I want to be able to make sure that I show the respects and, justice that was done to it, through my way of explaining it and, displaying it for others. But yeah, I'm going to still sit with this for a while and have some fun with it.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. It's definitely one of those projects you can just, keep in rotation. It's a quick 15 minutes, and it takes you a lot of places in 15 minutes, and it's a good listen. Gives you that substance, and also, it's something like you can feel it. It feels good. It sounds good. It is good for you. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Again, a nice quick meal, nice hearty quick
hell
meal.
yeah, like a good bowl of chili.
There it is. Yeah, because where you be very chilly at times. So for sure,
Nah, for
for
real.
sure. Oh man. But before I wrap up and also let you speak any last pieces that you want, I want to again take this time to give you your flowers and appreciate you not only for being open and sharing your art with us, but also sharing even the personal sides of things like you usually do, and being able just to take this time and space for this interview to happen and be thoughtful in what you're sharing. So I want to give you your flowers as well as for the bars and just the overall great project that you put out for people to listen to, my man. So kudos to you.
And thank you. I appreciate you having me, man. Like this, I know you were done for the year, but I appreciate you squeezing me in, bro. Like this, I like doing these interviews with you. You actually like listen to the music and care about what's going on, and I like I like to talk to people about music, and I
Yes.
appreciate you doing what you do, bro.
Much love, man. Soon it's gonna be in person and then slash when I get all my stuff right. You already know I'm gonna be knocking down your door because I wanna at least submit a song out in the world with you. So
Oh, let's
I'm
let's
calling it
make it
here.
work, man. Let's make it work, brother.
Yes.
All for it.
Get my rights, get it all. Once I get all of the stuff right, like I'm gonna be knocking because, yeah, there's a lot of y'all that I want to. What I'm doing now, and this is just a side for me, but we're gonna come still back to you. Is as much as my love for music, and then also getting into my love of freestyling when I would freestyle with people and how it was intimate moments and sharing and really seeing people's soul when sharing those type of moments. Now I started to think about that when it comes to like features and like having songs with people like this is a moment like we created together, and I want to do that on track with a lot of folks that not only are that I respect but got love for them too. So I'm like, man, I want to start creating moments with people on track. So just letting you know, I want to create a moment with you on the track.
Yeah, yeah. I'm all for it, bro. I'm all for it. I'm always into creating new shit, trying new things. So let's make it work, man.
Well, there it is. But other than that, brother, any last words for the people? Check out all your ads, social medias, throw it all in there. I'm gonna of course post and put those things so people can know where to come and find you for all this stuff.
Word. If you, yeah, you can find me at blksknn.com, Blksknn, Blackskin type beat on, I think all my social media at this point. Uh, yeah, man. And that's about it. I appreciate everybody here who popped in for a second, who left, everybody who stayed around for most of it. Like, I appreciate each and every person who's gonna go and listen to this project now. Everybody who followed me from this, like, this it's a dope experience. Yeah, man, like, fucking listen to good music.
Yes.
Let it be known that you want to hear good music, and like that's what the climate will look like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is, y'all. With that being said, thank you so much, brother, for coming through and spending this time sharing your thoughts, words, and all of those things, as well as this wonderful project of, late bloomer and knowing that it's never too late to do stuff, y'all. So
Hell yeah.
if y'all got that thought, y'all got that, dream that you want to make a reality, even if it's going to take steps at a time, just know that Rome wasn't built in one day. The China Great Wall was not built in one day. So the verses, bars, and the art that you put in together is just not going to be done in one day. Take the time, effort, and consistency to keep doing it, as well as have fun and love yourself throughout the process.
Yeah.
But other than that, y'all, this has been another Show Us More in conclusion, as well as sponsored by More Interviews, aka Memoirs of Our Real Experiences. Thank you, Blksknn, for coming through. For all of y'all, thank y'all all for coming through and continue to write your memoirs and experience so that you can keep growing and sharing or showing more of your life. With that, y'all, peace and love. Until next time.